I'm Kieran, and well done, you've made it to lesson 5. In this lesson, we're going to move on from some of the theoretical stuff we've been looking at and actually start to toughen up your security. We still need a little bit of theory though, just so we know where we are in all this. So, as the person responsible for information security, your objective really is to build, maintain and continuously improve an information security management system, or ISMS. Your ISMS consists of a set of technical controls and a set of policies, and makes sure that you're in compliance with the various rules, laws and regulations that apply to how your organisation handles information. It also makes sure that this information is as secure as you can reasonably make it. When I say reasonably, we need to recognise that there are all sorts of limitations on what you can do, not least of which are budgetary restrictions, time constraints, training needs, and management authority. But even taking all this into account, you can still start to build your ISMS and understand where you are in the process. So now you know what's involved, you can start to make some estimates. For example, I have this 10% covered, or whatever applies in your situation. The key thing is you need to take charge. This is especially important when it comes to technical controls. It shouldn't be the IT people telling you what controls you need. They're there to advise you as to what is possible and to implement the technical controls for you. I'll just mention one last time. Remember, you're on a journey here. No one, no matter what their budget or their authority, gets there in one leap. This all takes time, and the main thing is to get started. And now, let's get you turbocharged for the journey. Do you remember early on I mentioned that it's very unlikely that your business is being targeted by your stereotypical hacker in a hoodie? I mean the evil genius you see on TV and in films that can break into any system, sometimes even into alien spaceships, with just a few taps on the keyboard. We're not worried about those guys, not on this course anyway. But I did say I would tell you the type of people who are after you. So, who are they? The boring and unglamorous truth is they are just the same people who send out spam and scam emails. There's nothing much involved these days in building a career as a cyber criminal. You just buy your hacks, cracks and exploits online like anything else, and you pay some other crook a trivial amount of money to blast them out on the internet by the million, and then you sit back and wait to see who bites. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to go into details here about how these attacks work. Most are so simple, it really would be negligent of me to broadcast the details. But the key point is that anyone can be a cyber criminal. No brain power is needed. So we call these types of attack commoditized attacks, precisely because that's what they are. They're commodities. And like any other commodity, you can just buy them off the shelf and launch them. And the internet is awash with them. Now, I'm going to share some great news. You can block 90% of commoditized attacks by putting in place a set of technical controls over this coming week. And I didn't pluck that 90% number from thin air. I'm not making it up. It comes from the UK's GCHQ agency. Okay, let's get started. So we're looking at technical controls here, but they're not very technical. You may need or want IT to implement some for you, or to explain exactly how they're implemented if they're already in place. And take my word, this is going to entirely change your relationship with IT. So here we go. Secure your internet connection, and this is the most technical one. By default, routers, which connect your network to the internet, allow all traffic to pass when the connection or query starts inside your network, and they block all traffic which originates outside your network. Over time, various applications like CCTV or requirements for remote access get added, and ports are opened to allow in traffic from outside. This is usually done by IT in response to specific business requirements. So, ask IT to confirm whether any traffic from outside your network is allowed in, and if yes, what it is and why it's allowed. Try to get to a point where you go back as close as you can to the default setting, and if you can't block everything, carefully document the business reasons why you are allowing traffic from outside, and ask IT to explain why these connections are necessary and exactly how they make sure that only legitimate traffic gets in. Secure configuration. Devices such as routers, wireless access points, network switches, and the one everyone forgets, network printers, are usually supplied with default passwords. And the bad guys know these default passwords. I should say, by the way, when I mention the wireless access point password, I mean the one used to configure the device and not the one you use to connect to the wireless network. So, make sure these passwords are changed and use a password manager such as LastPass to record the passwords. Wherever it's available, enable two-factor authentication. So you can do all this yourself, or you can have IT do it and report back to you. Access control. If you have a network with a server, you will probably need IT help for this one. Make sure that each user account only has the access required for that user's job. No user accounts should have administrative rights, and when administrative rights are required, they should be assigned to accounts only for the duration of the requirement. Ask IT to provide you with a report on user rights to confirm that accounts are set up this way, and don't forget to shred the report afterwards. Malware protection. Every computer on your system must have antivirus software, and that software must be updated every day. Start with an inventory of your equipment. Ask IT to supply this, or just do the inventory yourself. Then ask IT for evidence that every machine has antivirus software and that it's up to date. If IT can't do this, or you prefer to look after your antivirus software yourself, use antivirus software that gives you a web-based console and report generating facility so that you can view the protected status of your whole network at a glance. A great one for this is WebRoot. Patch management. All computer operating systems must be set to apply operating system updates as they're released. Ask IT to provide a report showing that operating system patches have been applied. If IT can't do this, or you don't have IT, then you require confirmation from every user once a month as to their update status, and maintain a checklist for this so you can see anyone who doesn't report. Most companies are relatively good at managing operating system patches, but most are really terrible at applying patches for the software that runs on the system, such as Office, Flash, Chrome, Adobe Reader, and so on. And these need to be updated just as much as the operating system. So if IT isn't doing this for you, or if they can't show that they're doing it, Then you need a patch management solution, something you should look at. My favourite, it's called Chocolatey, and it's free. So there you have it. 90% of commoditized attacks on your network are likely to fail if you go through those 5 steps. If you add in advanced malware protection on your email system, again, this is just something you buy at a cost of about £3 per user per month, you'll get that percentage up to around 94 or 95. So, not a bad place to be after a week, though there is of course a lot more you can do technically. It's a pretty good start. I know that last section was a bit technical, and I have tried to avoid that as much as possible on this course. Don't be put off though. What I'm most concerned to achieve here is not that you can do all this yourself, but that you can tell technical people exactly what you want, and you can do that from a position of knowledge. Now, guess what? I've got more good news for you. Remember when we looked at PCI DSS in the last lesson? I mentioned that I would talk a little more in this lesson about security standards. So, standards are yardsticks or guidelines against which you can measure yourself. Some of them give guidance on how to get up to scratch, and others just outline where you need to be. In information security, the most prestigious standard against which your company can be certified is ISO 27001. Getting there is a tough journey, but it's certainly a worthy aspiration for you. But in fact, if you want to, you're now ready to earn your first information security certification badge. Having put in place the 5 technical controls we've just been through, you can fill in an online questionnaire and have your company certified against the UK government's Cyber Essentials standard. And you can use the certification badge on your website and other communications, so your clients and prospects know that you're serious about information security. When I'm not delivering online information security training courses, I am, amongst a few other things, a Cyber Essentials assessor. So if you are interested in getting that badge, drop me a line and I'll send you a link to the questionnaire and a code for a small discount on the registration fee, which is normally £300. Now, I know you've been paying attention, so you'll be wondering now, why everything is focused on technical controls? What happened to policies? They're important too, right? I've good news for you there too. As I mentioned, ISO 27001, which has a lot to say about policies, is a big ask, especially for small companies. But another organisation, for whom I'm also an assessor, has developed what is effectively a version of ISO 27001 cut down to fit smaller organisations. IASME, or Information Assurance for small and medium enterprises, can be downloaded for free and will give you a huge amount of guidance on the policies you need to develop. You can also certify your company against this standard if you want to, and yes, I can get you a discount too. Well, we've got there. I hope you've enjoyed the course as much as I have. And more than that, I hope I've achieved my objective in turbocharging your journey on the road to information security superstardom. One of the things I always liked about the last day of term was that there wasn't any homework at the end. And I don't have a worksheet for you today. But if you follow the advice on this course, I think you already have more than enough work to do. I hope I've made you feel some of the excitement I feel about this subject, so that you're facing the prospect of this work and your journey with a certain sense of adventure. And remember, I'm here to help you if you ever need it. So thank you very much for sticking with this to the end, and I really wish you the best of luck on your information security journey. Thanks again. Bye.